Buongiorno a tutti, buon pomeriggio. Io sono Giulia Chilli, publisher di inglese per la scuola secondaria di secondo grado. Sono qui oggi a nome di Sanoma Italia per darvi il benvenuto e per presentarvi due autori che avremo il piacere di ascoltare questo pomeriggio in questo incontro intitolato Shakespeare e l'intelligenza artificiale. I due relatori sono Mauro Spicci. Ciao Mauro.
Hello, ciao Giulia.
Esperto di metodologie didattiche innovative, ha una laurea in Lingue e Letterature Straniere, una laurea in Storia conseguita presso la Newcastle University e una laurea in Educational Leadership and Innovation conseguita presso la Tampere University in Finlandia. Poi abbiamo qui con noi oggi Timothy Alan Shaw. Ciao Tim, benvenuto.
Hi, hello everybody.
Laureato in Lingue e Letteratura presso la University of Oxford con un Postgraduate Certificate in Education. È stato docente di inglese presso il liceo linguistico Marcello Candia di Seregno. Mauro Spicci e Timothy Alan Shaw sono autori per Sanoma Italia del corso di letteratura inglese Amazing Minds e Amazing Minds New Generation, della civiltà per la scuola secondaria di secondo grado Your Word e del volume Your Words, in uscita quest'anno per Sanoma Italia, che è un volume per potenziare il lavoro sulla lingua e in particolare le competenze scritte di literacy e quelle orali di oracy. Siamo qui oggi per questo incontro, come ho detto prima, intitolato Shakespeare e l'intelligenza artificiale, due mondi apparentemente molto lontani, ma che i nostri autori ci spiegheranno oggi come far dialogare e in che modo possono essere collegati tra loro. Quindi io sono molto curiosa di sentire quello che hanno da dire oggi i nostri autori e passo loro la parola. Se doveste avere delle domande potete scriverle direttamente in chat. Buon ascolto a tutti. Prego Mauro.
Grazie Giulia. Thank you very much for this invitation and thank you very much to all of you for being here. It's a great pleasure for me and for Tim to kind of like try to navigate through this interesting and rather new landscape, the one about artificial intelligence. And we will use the lens of Shakespeare and to understand more about how we can use artificial intelligence in our daily life as language and literature teachers. Before we delve deep into this interesting topic, I would like to share some definitions about artificial intelligence, because this is where everything starts. What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is normally defined as the ability of a digital computer or a computer-controlled robot to perform tasks that we normally associate with intelligent beings, with human beings. The term is often applied to the project of developing systems which have the intellectual processes characteristic of humans, such as the ability to reason, to think, to discover meaning, to make sense of the world, to generalize, or also to learn from past experience. Today, there are still no programs that can match full human flexibility, not that we are aware of, over wider domains or in tasks requiring much everyday knowledge. But some programs have attained the performance levels of human experts and professionals in performing certain specific tasks, so that artificial intelligence in this limited sense is found in application as diverse as medical diagnosis, computer search engines, voice or handwriting recognition, and chatbots.
Okay, hello everybody. So let's start off by looking at what is the relationship between artificial intelligence and Shakespeare so far. We go back a little bit into the past. We know there have long been theories about Shakespeare's real identity and his authorship. And scholars have long known that after his death, Shakespeare was replaced by a playwright called John Fletcher. And the question is, did Fletcher perhaps collaborate with Shakespeare in the writing of his plays? Now, in 1850, a scholar called James Spedding put forth his theory that Shakespeare had collaborated with Fletcher on Henry IV, but in particular. Spedding gave examples of usage and phrasing that form what he called a writerly fingerprint, and claimed that these showed that two people had worked on the single text. Then in 1980, a scholar named Thomas Merriam published a statistical analysis of the play, which broadly supported Spedding's theory. And this brings us a bit closer to our time.
Yeah, much closer to our time, especially in not 2019. Peter Pleczek, who works at AI at MIT in the United States, used machine learning to train an algorithm on the works of William Shakespeare and John Fletcher. He fed 4 of each writer's works into a database. An algorithm was then fed Henry VIII and led through the play section by section. Each passage was deemed Shakespeare or non-Shakespeare. Overall, the scholar confirmed both Spedding and Merriam. The limits of Pletcham's experiment fit within the scientific method. We begin with a specific hypothesis and prediction and test against it with some parameters of confidence. This test can point out various resemblances and differences and help us to draw conclusions. What AI cannot do, of course, is form its own theories or develop new original materials.
And that's a very interesting point, yeah. So, how do Shakespeare and generative AI differ? If they do, well, first of all, let's define what is generative AI, artificial intelligence. So we can say that generative AI refers to what are called deep learning models that can generate high quality text, images, and other content based on the data they were trained on. ChatGPT seems to mark a turning point in AI. OpenAI's chatbot, powered by its latest large language model, can write poems, song lyrics, tell jokes, and produce essays that look like a human created them. In reality, possibly better than if a human had created them. So if we prompt ChatGPT with a few words, whatever we need, this is a rather challenging idea.
Then let's think about the impact on language of both Shakespeare and of ChatGPT in a sense. Shakespeare contributed significantly to the development of English language, coining new words and expressions. AI also influences and is influencing language, not by inventing new words, but by affecting communication styles. Text-based AI can mimic and propagate linguistic trends, potentially influencing language evolution. And then there's another aspect, adaptation and learning. Shakespeare's works demonstrate an incredible understanding of human nature and also the ability to adapt stories from various sources to appeal to his audience. AI learns from vast databases, adapting its responses based on the input it receives to better suit the user's query or style of communication. And now we can talk about cultural influence.
And this brings with it cultural influences.
Just as
Shakespeare's plays,
had a lasting impact on literature, on theater and popular culture, artificial intelligence is increasingly influencing various aspects of culture. These include art, music, writing, and even the way we interact with technology and we interact with each other, if you think about it. And what else, Tim?
We also have the exploration of the human condition, because as we know, Shakespeare's works deeply explore themes, let's say, of love, power, jealousy, betrayal, and other aspects of the human condition, aspects of human emotion and psychology, albeit from a non-conscious algorithmic perspective. For example, can evoke emotions or through us.
And there's more. We also have ethical and societal implications. Shakespeare's plays often present ethical dilemmas and social commentary, reflecting on the nature of human society and governance. AI raises its own set of ethical questions regarding bias, regarding privacy, autonomy, and the future of work, prompting society to reflect on the implications of technology. So, to summarize, although Shakespeare's genius was rooted in human creativity and insight, and AI operates through algorithms and data analysis, both have become mirrors to human nature and society, each obviously in their own unique and specific way. Team, I'm following the conversation on the chat box, and apparently people are finding it a little bit hard to hear your voice. Yeah, Paula Nani says Timothy's audio is not okay.
Okay, can you hear me now? Should I raise
can.
my voice?
I can hear you well now.
Yeah, maybe I just need to shout a little louder. My artificial intelligence has let me down today.
Your artificial intelligence is a little tired today.
Oh dear me.
Let's try again.
Yes. Okay. So, using artificial intelligence to understand Shakespeare, and we have some serious stuff coming up now. What can we do? Incorporating artificial intelligence into the study of Shakespeare's plays can offer innovative and interactive methods to engage students and deepen their understanding. So here we're going to look at some ways AI can be used in this context. We have, for example, text analysis tools.
Yeah, what to
we
talk
can
about
use AI-powered tools to analyze. Yeah.
Yeah, while you talk about that, I'll switch off.
Can you hear me?
Presentation mode. Yes.
Okay.
I'll switch off the presentation mode and I go to ChatGPT. I would like to show you how it works. And I will need to go back and forth from the presentation to ChatGPT, if you don't mind. So I'll stop sharing for a second.
Yeah.
And I will need. Yeah. That's what it is. So I just wanted to show you an example. So Tim, you were talking about
We're talking about text analysis. Yeah. And you have an example to show us, perhaps?
Of course, I do. Can you see ChatGPT now? I'm using ChatGPT 4, which is the updated version.
Yes.
So you talked about text analysis. I would like to start with this. I mean, everybody knows what we're talking about. This is the famous tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow speech by Macbeth. So we can use ChatGPT to analyze the text, and we can ask him or her. It really depends on the, I mean, I'm struggling with the pronoun. The other day I was talking with a group of students, and some of them were talking about ChatGPT using she, the she pronoun. Some others were using the he pronoun, and some other were using the they pronoun. So I'm not sure about
this. This is a whole new webinar now.
Pronoun, yes, I need to use. But I would like to ask ChatGPT a couple of questions. So the first question is, what is the main imagery of this passage? And also, let's do this. So this is how ChatGPT reacts to my question. It needs a little bit of time for thinking, not that much. Obviously, it knows that the passage is taken from Act 5, Scene 5. Yes, we can confirm that. It's taken from Macbeth. It's Macbeth's soliloquy. Well done, ChatGPT. And these are the main areas of imagery. First of all, time and inevitability. Obviously, the passage starts with tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. It's a direct reference to the passing of time, to the theme of time. Life is made of time. And Macbeth is coming to the end of his life. So he's reflecting on time, on life, on the meaning of life and death. And then another area is light and darkness. The phrase, all of our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death, uses a metaphor for life, which ironically only leads to death, which is associated with darkness. Then obviously we're talking about a play by Shakespeare, which is filled with images related to theater. So we've got life is linked to a poor player, an actor who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is gone, which means, and then it disappears. And then sound and silence. The passage ends with the notion of a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. This image encapsulates life as a noisy but ultimately meaningless story, which is full of actions, full of events, but at the point which then ends, and then what remains is just silence. Okay, so I've asked ChatGPT, imagine that we are in a class and that we do this with the students. So we receive an answer, which is interesting. And so my next question, not for ChatGPT, but for you, for all the participants is, do you agree with this interpretation? Can you use the chat box to share your thoughts? So look at the result that we got from our interrogation of ChatGPT, because that was an interrogation. Do you agree? And if you do, why? And if you don't, why not? What do you think about it, Tim, first? Do you agree with this interpretation? Tim, you're mute.
Can you hear me?
Paula says it is a plain but effective interpretation. I couldn't agree more. So yeah, it's an effective interpretation. It's rather plain. Yeah, it's a good analysis. Yeah. What do you think, Tim?
I'm quite impressed with it. If this is generated so quickly as well, I think it's generated 4 or 5 very interesting ideas in a very short space of time.
I definitely agree. Yeah. Can you use this this prompt for an assessment in class? I mainly agree. A good analysis that accounts for the themes we find in Macbeth. Yes, it talks about like the general themes of Macbeth. And then Veronica says it definitely cites the main point, but it fails to highlight the shades and deep meaning of the passage. Yes. I actually didn't give ChatGPT any word limit, if you noticed. I asked ChatGPT, hey, can you give me some ideas about the main imagery of the passage? But I didn't give ChatGPT a word limit. I could have done that. If you do that, ChatGPT is pretty good. I mean, if you tell ChatGPT to do it, to give you an answer in maximum, let's say 150 words, it will do it. It struggles with longer text, so do not expect to receive a deep analysis, but like a general, common, plain, someone used the adjective plain analysis or a plain response. Yeah, you can expect that from ChatGPT.
There is an interesting question emerging here. I wonder if ChatGPT would give the same answer if you repeated the question twice.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. Veronica, this is
experience, yeah.
Or Federica. Federica, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's interesting. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, let's try. The passage you've quoted from Macbeth is rich with evocative imagery. Well, the answer is different because at the beginning, yeah, it said from Act 5, Scene 5. Here, it's more general. It talks about existential nihilism. It's a breakdown of the main imagery used. Time as a monotonous progression. Light and darkness. Theatrical imagery. Well, that's well, actually, this could not this could not be missing because, you know, those lines, they contain one of the most powerful metaphors that Shakespeare uses when it makes reference to the world of theatre. And then it talks about futility and noise. Yeah, it's kind of similar. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. That's what I would say. Yeah, the answers are always slightly different. Someone said before, the answer is plain, but sometimes ChatGPT also makes mistakes. Yes, we have to keep that in mind. ChatGPT is not the Bible. It's not a Bible. It's a tool. It's an instrument that gives us an answer. Every time we ask a question, ChatGPT will give us an answer. Whether the answer is right or not, it depends on us. So we never have to take ChatGPT's answers for granted unless we analyze them and we assess them.
But now, that makes it important as a tool we can use for discussion and consideration. If we are not considering this simply as a sort of shortcut, an easy way to do your homework, it can be very interesting to have something to compare and talk about.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But the funny thing and the interesting thing about ChatGPT is that it gives you an answer in a very short amount of time. So if you need a quick answer, it will give you that. And normally it's a rather good answer. It's not outstanding, it's not excellent. It's a good starting point. Now, moving forward, we've got more. We can use so we talked about using ChatGPT to analyze texts. We can also use interactive chat box. We can create or use existing AI chat box programmed with knowledge about Shakespeare's plays. And we can ask our students to ask questions about the plot, the characters, or the themes and receive immediate responses. This can be a fun way for students to explore the plays independently and get quick answers, again, quick answers to their questions. But there's more.
Yeah, we have natural learning, natural language processing for language learning. AI systems equipped with natural language processing can help students to grasp the Elizabethan English used in Shakespeare's text to understand this. These systems can translate archaic words and phrases into modern English. They can provide explanations for obscure references. They can offer annotations to enhance our comprehension. But they can do what a good textbook and a good teacher do, but they can do this sort of much faster. It's a very interesting possibility.
Right. And now another important area to explore is the use of ChatGPT or of generative AI to do automatic essay scoring and feedback. So for example, we could implement AI tools that can address a student's written work on Shakespeare's plays, for example, offering instant feedback or grammar, style, and content analysis. This immediate feedback can help students refine their ideas and writing skills more rapidly. I don't know if you've ever used ChatGPT for this. Have you? Can you share your experience with us using the chat box? Because I've got an example to share with you. But first of all, I wanted to hear from you. Anna said, I prefer using chatbots for assessment. Yes, I mean, this can also be used for assessment. But have you ever used, how have you used it? How often do you use it? And can you give us an example of a way you use it effectively with your students as an assessment tool? Meanwhile, I'll stop sharing and I'll go back to the document because I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you a practical use. So for example, right? Yes, there it is. So for example, if I copy and paste, this is an essay. It's an essay about Lady Macbeth and the way her character evolves from Act 1 up to Act 5. And I would like to get, and I'm a student, and I would like to get immediate feedback on, let's say, how I can structure the essay in a more effective way. So I can copy and paste my essay and ask ChatGPT, can you give me 3 suggestions to implement the quality of my essay and make my ideas more visible? Let's see what kind of feedback I get. So ChatGPT likes my essay. It says that it's a strong analysis of Lady Macbeth's character and her pivotal role in Macbeth. But it gives me some suggestions on how to make my ideas clearer and deeper. I can strengthen thesis and topic sentences. So it gives me some practical ideas to follow. So begin with a clear, concise thesis statement that encapsulates your main argument about Lady Macbeth's ambition, and its implications for her character and the plot's event. I kind of agree with that, because when I selected this essay from a range of essays that I had, this was not the strongest. Actually, this essay doesn't start with a powerful first sentence. It simply starts with, in Act 1, Scene 7, Shakespeare shows how Lady Macbeth, blah, blah, blah. It's not really the best start. So I agree with ChatGPT. I think this is good feedback. Then I can also use detailed textual analysis. Basically, ChatGPT is telling me, use more quotes. If you want to substantiate or support your ideas, draw inspiration and use direct quotes from the text. I like that. I'm not sure whether in this text or in this essay, quotes have been used effectively, but I think that the way in which they've been used can be improved. And then contextualize within historical and social frameworks. So probably make reference to women's lifestyle in the Elizabethan age, make reference to some historical events. So this is not the end of the world, but it's good feedback. It's quick, it's immediate, and it kind of like, it could help me as a student improve the way I write while I'm writing it. Tim?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, next thing we're talking about dramatic performance analysis, which is really interesting, with the idea that we can use AI to analyze performances of Shakespeare's plays from various databases or online platforms. And AI can help to identify different interpretative choices made in production, such as the tone, the pacing, the emotional expression. And this can help students to see diverse perspectives on the text.
And last, just another example of a rather serious use of ChatGPT in class is gamification. So we can incorporate game-based learning where AI tracks progress and adapts challenges according to the student's understanding of Shakespeare's works. This can include puzzle games, for example. Anna said that she used that to do an assessment on vocabulary with her students. So you can make the assessment process more engaging, more interactive, more fun in a sense, which enhances students' motivation. And that,
yeah, I think that's very, very significant. And perhaps the name gamification tends to sort of undersell this. This is still very serious business. Yeah.
No. It's serious stuff. We're talking about serious things. We've got less serious stuff to share later, but we're talking about serious stuff now.
Yeah.
Paula says, I also use it to plan my revision teaching units. Absolutely. Yes, because you get feedback, you get immediate feedback, and it's always useful to incorporate that feedback into your lesson plan.
Yes, it's also non-threatening because the individual student can work on this in their own time, in their own space, without feeling that someone else is watching over them as they do this. I think this can be a very useful tool to use at home, release of some of the pressure of being assessed directly.
Yeah. And the other thing, and I think that the other benefit of it is the fact that it's never tired. You know, it's always there to give you an answer. I'm not talking about the quality of the answers, but at least when you ask a question, you get an answer, and you get an answer immediately. And that's interesting. It could be a powerful tool to, for example, also create multiple choice activities or assessment, for sure.
Yes. In fact, patience is programmed into these chatbots, and patience is something we don't always have. So yes, you can go at it again and again.
We've got limited time, and often we've got crowded classes, and so we've got many students to look after and give feedback to. And ChatGPT could be a powerful resource to help students get immediate feedback while they're doing something. It will not replicate us as teachers, but it can be a good buddy, I think, both for the teacher and for students. So we've talked about serious stuff, but there are also a lot of other funny activities that we could do to use ChatGPT and make Shakespeare's works more interesting for our students. For example, Ori says, I sometimes use Tweet to create activities based on YouTube literature videos. Absolutely. That's a powerful tool. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for sharing it. I could not recommend it stronger. And then, for example, we can use ChatGPT to modernize a scene. We can choose a scene from any Shakespeare play, and we can ask ChatGPT to rewrite it in modern English or in contemporary slang. You can also, once we do that, I mean, we could also do it by ourselves, but it would take forever. I mean, it would take a lot of time. Think about the balcony scene, for example, or any other famous scene from Shakespeare. You can ask ChatGPT to rewrite it in modern English or to decontextualize it and to contextualize it in a different context or in a different genre using a different language. And you can ask students to compare the two versions, the original version and the updated version, to discuss the differences in language evolution and cultural context. I've got a little surprise for you. So bear with me a second. I'm going to stop sharing, get my little surprise, and then ask for your feedback. So there we are. Oh yeah, I've got a rap song, which was written by ChatGPT, but it's based on Shakespeare, like one of Shakespeare's plays. So where are we? Oops, there we are. Chat. I'm going to share this using the chat box. It's a rap song. Can you read it and tell me where it comes from? I'm not going to sing it. We're not there yet. So, Tim, I think you can also read it as a rapper.
I can read it if you like. Yeah, with my best of rapper. Yo, my girl, she ain't no solar flare. Call her pops more than her lips there to wear. It snows laying down is white, so fair. I've lost her. Her skin's more a muted shade, I swear. I've seen roses mixed in hues, bold and light, but those blooms ain't playing on her face right. Some fragrances, they got more bite than from my lady's breath at night. I dig her voice, its unique tone, yet music's got that sweet melodious bone. A goddess walking, that sight's unknown. My girl, she's earthbound, in the zone. But hold up in the heavens, I stake my claim. My love's as unique beyond any fame. in this rap of life, she's got her own frame, as real as it gets in love's vast game.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I'm going to get any invitations from recorded companies for that,
it was actually in the chat box. I made a little bit of confusion with, you know, with the slides. So I copied and pasted the text. So if you go back, you can see the rap song that I posted in the chat box, and it's actually a rap song. Daniela, if I'm not wrong, got it. She said it's a sonnet, and it's sonnet 130. It's my mistress' eyes, written in rap in rap style. Yes, I agree with you, Georgia. Amazing team.
I'm very embarrassed. Thank you very much, anyway.
You know, we've shared a lot of experiences, but I've never seen you, Tim, as a rap song. So I can definitely say that ChatGPT can change your perspective on people.
This is what I do on Friday nights. My second job. Can we look at the next one, which I find really nice? If you can put the text on,
absolutely.
on the screen.
No, before we move on to the next one, I wanted to ask you, so how do you think we can use this with our students? So what is the point? We had a moment of fun, which is always good. But then what can we do with it? My first reaction would be, I would like to ask the students to tell me whether it is still a sonnet or not. So is this new version, is this updated version, and a sonnet still a sonnet or not? Yeah, I can also use it to improve pronunciation. But if we remain within the realm of Shakespeare's literature, yes, we can also analyze how the English language changes. But if we go back to the actual format, to the style, our question could be, hey, you know what a sonnet is, you've studied it. Now tell me if this rap song based on a sonnet is still a sonnet or not. Now I've got another surprise for you. Bear with me for a second. So now, are you going to sing again, Tim?
Yes, I will do. Yeah, you're going to show them the text this time because they won't understand me.
So now, chat
Can
box.
we visualize the text?
Right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, again, this one we'll recognize. Think, yo, should I keep grinding through this struggle, or should I take a stand and hustle? Fight back against all this strife and finally live my best life. But if I choose to sleep forevermore, I could avoid all the pain I bore. All the problems and sorrows in my days could be gone in an eternal haze. But what if in that endless sleep I find no peace, no rest to keep? What if the nightmares haunt me still, worse than any earthly ill?
They say, everybody says Hamlet. I don't know why.
Yes.
People who are not able to see the text in the chat box. I'm really sorry about that. I don't know what to do with that. Apparently some people can see it.
Mauro, perdonami.
It appears, but the chat box moves on, I think.
Bisogna cambiare probabilmente lo stai scrivendo, organizzatori e relatori, ma se tu vai sotto dove c'è un tassello blu con scritto mandare messaggi a tutti o organizzatori e relatori, dovresti flaggare tutti. In questo modo tutti possono vedere i messaggi che mandi. Probabilmente è impostato in una maniera sbagliata quella.
I don't know what you're talking about. Where should I can't see.
Se tu vai in basso a destra dove c'è la chat, cioè
yes.
A 2 punti, dovresti mettere tutti, non solo organizzatori e relatori.
We have to go back to the beginning. Oh, no, we have to start again, all over again. I mean, you cannot miss this part. I'm so
I think it's there, but it disappears as more people write in the chat. It's sort of you have to wind back in the chat. I can see it in the chat.
I'm just thank you, Anna Rita Bove. You're my star at the moment. I'm blaming AI for this. I mean, it was not my fault. It was AI.
Yeah. Okay, Mauro, when it says 2, you've chosen 2 hosts and panelists, and you should choose 2 everyone.
That's what I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Then they should have got it.
Okay, it was amusing. I agree. Now we've got more for you. Now, we can also do other things. So for example, going back to the slideshow, for example, we can talk about We can talk about character interviews.
Mhm.
So what can we
Okay.
do with this?
Well, here, what can you do? You can pretend you are interviewing a character from a Shakespeare play. So you prepare your questions and you ask ChatGPT to answer as if it were that character. You say, okay, I want to speak to Hamlet, I want to speak to Juliet, I want to speak to Lady Macbeth. ChatGPT will answer as this character and offer insights into their motivations, their feelings, and their decisions throughout the play. This is nice. Your students generate the questions and chatbot will generate, we hope, some interesting answers.
That's very interesting. We can also do plot twists. So for example, we can ask ChatGPT to suggest different endings or unexpected plot twists to famous Shakespeare's plays. And then we can also discuss with students how these changes would affect the overall themes and the characters. One of the things that we can do is, I would like to do it with you. So I'm stop sharing. I'll go back to ChatGPT, and I would like to ask ChatGPT. So suggest 5 different endings to Shakespeare's Hamlet. Let's see what it comes up with. Hamlet is one of Shakespeare's more enduring tragedies, filled with complex characters and philosophical themes. So Hamlet survives and assumes the throne. That's not, well, yeah, fine, but that's not impressive. Then we can have a peaceful resolution through exile. Oh, what is that? Rather than descending into a violent confrontation, Hamlet decides to expose Claudius's crimes diplomatically and then chooses to leave Denmark. Oh, like a self-imposed exile. Right. Yeah, I don't know if you like it, Tim, but this...
I rather like Ophelia's intervention, which is the next one. It's a nice idea. So the role of the woman in this could solve the problems.
So I'm very glad for Ophelia. It says, in this version, Ophelia does not succumb to madness. Instead, she becomes a central figure in resolving the conflict. Oh, I'm liking this. Gathering evidence about her father's and Claudius' schemes, she confronts Hamlet, and together they devise a plan to bring Claudius to justice without further bloodshed. Their combined efforts lead to a public revelation of the king's crimes, and Ophelia and Hamlet work together to foster a new era of transparency and reform in Denmark. I like it. I like this.
We like it, yes. I like it too, but I wonder if Shakespeare's audiences would have liked this. I think the end of a good tragedy with lots of blood and corpses on the stage is much more sort of to the taste of an Elizabethan audience. I'm not sure that they would like anything as soft as a solution brought about by the intervention of Ophelia.
But if you think about this, is a way to actually take Ophelia out of the darkness, because Ophelia gets lost at some point.
Yeah.
And by thinking about this alternative ending, we kind of rewrite the story from a female perspective. I like this ending, but I also would like to quote what Georgia has just written. She said, we could use this to test our students' imagination. I really like it. Can they do better than a chatbot? Oh, wow. That's powerful. Yeah, I really like this exercise. So you've just created an exercise that you can do tomorrow, Georgia. Let us know how it goes.
Marina said something very important, is women are better at solving problems. Shakespeare didn't give them much space, but this is true.
Yeah.
It is much more in line with our sensitivities today.
Yeah. And now, going back to what we can do. Apart from plot twists, what else can we do? Cross-play character conversation. What is this, Tim?
Well, it's another very interesting one, because you have to imagine sort of impossible conversation. Imagine a conversation between characters from different Shakespeare plays.
Yeah.
I imagine you take Juliet from Romeo and Juliet and Macbeth, and you use ChatGPT to script this interaction and explore the dynamics between them. What would they have to say to each other? How would they comment on each other's stories and decisions and actions?
Oh yeah, that's interesting. I think I'm not sure I did it. No. Let's do it together. I'm having fun here, as you can see. So I want to do it. So give me the names of two characters, Tim. Let's do it together.
Why don't we take Lady Macbeth and Gertrude?
Between Lady Macbeth and Gertrude.
Yeah.
On a specific topic, or do you want a topic, or
No, just in general, yeah.
on any topic?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry, my prompt was wrong because there was a missing part.
No, it's going. It's going. Yeah. It's working. There's a dialogue emerging.
But
Yes.
it didn't ask to write a dialogue. I said write it.
Well, it's actually rather interesting. Yes.
Between
talking about the burdens of conscience.
Elsinore. Lady Macbeth enters, finding Queen Gertrude looking out a window. Good evening, Queen Gertrude. How heavy lies the crown in a realm shadowed by secrets? Indeed,
Lady Macbeth, it is a burden, one that often leads to sleepless nights. I sense you too are acquainted with such troubles.
Hey, for ambition's fire oft burns more than it warms. Tell me, how do you find peace amidst such tumult?
Peace is a fleeting guest in halls of power. Yet we must navigate these turbulent waters for the sake of our kin. How do you endure, lady?
By action, your grace. I find that the direct path, though perilous, leads to quicker resolve, yet the cost. Sometimes I wonder if the throne is worth the price of one's soul.
A heavy question. It seems whether by action or patience, the crown exacts its toll. We are sisters in this regal suffering.
Indeed we are, Queen Gertrude. May our actions forge a legacy that justifies our sacrifices.
May it be so for the both of us. Isn't that fascinating? They have things to say to each other.
Yeah.
They have things in common.
They do. Yeah. They're both women in power. Yeah. They both have to deal with, the consequences of political actions. They feel the burden of the crown, and they
both suffer. Yeah.
I like the idea of forming a legacy. It's kind of scary. I don't know why, but I find it a little scary to think that Lady Macbeth and Gertrude create some sort of legacy. But yeah, I like that. I would like to ask the students to develop this scene more. I think it could be a good starting point for an interesting creative writing activity.
We have some more suggestions here. Shylock and Romeo.
Shylock and Romeo.
Really interesting one, yeah. Keep them both in Italy.
Yeah. Also, what else can we do? So we can generate Shakespearean insults and compliments. We can have ChatGPT generate Shakespearean style insults or compliments. This can be a humorous way to delve into the richness of Shakespeare's language. Try to guess which place the lines could be taken from, or create scenarios in which these phrases could be used. I'm not going to do it because this wouldn't be appropriate at the moment. But I think it would be a fun activity, especially with certain classes that are particularly ironic. I think this could be a really fun activity to do.
I think they would enjoy that one, yes.
I totally agree, yeah.
Shakespeare is very good at insults, yes.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
AI itself is a Shakespeare character. So we could choose a character from Shakespeare's works and ask GPT to respond to your questions through that character. And this will help us to explore the character's language, character's thoughts, his or her thoughts and worldview in a dynamic, interactive way. I would like to speak directly to Friar Lawrence and ask him if he really understood how stupid he is, or some of the minor characters could be. We're going to write a sonnet.
Yeah, but before we move into that, there's a comment on the chat box. I would like to share it with you. Don't you think that if we ask ChatGPT or other AI to provide answers in our stead, or invent alternative
In our stead, yes.
In our stead, or
Yeah.
to invent alternative answers to stories will kill the student's creativity? I was an English conversation teacher years ago, and I invented a major role play like a project based on Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Then my students came to me and asked if they could invent their own ending themselves. I obviously agreed, and I can assure you that this was a most brilliant creative revisitation of the official ending. And the most interesting thing is that they produced it themselves. It was their language and their linguistic competence they displayed, not an AI's. I totally agree. I think it really depends on the focus of the activity. If you want your students to generate an alternative ending to a famous play by Shakespeare, if the task is to help them develop their creative writing skills, then you need to ask them, exactly as you did, to ask them to rewrite the ending of the play. But if you need them to use their critical thinking skills to analyze the quality of an alternative ending, then you can ask ChatGPT to write quickly an alternative ending and ask the students to be critical thinkers. So it really depends on the task. It really depends on the focus. It really depends on the learning activity. If you're
I think so much of this depends, as you're saying, Mauro, on how we use it and how we approach this, because there is clearly a risk that we can sort of think, oh, AI is going to do my homework for me and I can turn in a good essay and do this. If it needs to be accompanied, we need to have sort of clear parameters of what we're doing, because what we don't want as teachers is simply to find that a machine has taken away the students' commitment and the students' intervention in this.
So exactly. So my suggestion is, and we're at the very early stages of this interaction between artificial intelligence and real life. But what we would like to suggest is to use ChatGPT to enhance your work and to enhance students' work, not to replace what you do. So if the task is rewrite the ending of a famous play, then students should do it. If the task is analyze critically the quality, the effectiveness of this alternative ending, then you can ask ChatGPT to give you 10 different endings and give each student one of these endings and ask them to be critical thinkers. So it really depends on the task.
Yeah, we have Giorgia Caminati and JG who are saying something very, very similar. They say ChatGPT is just a tool. I've lost it now. It depends on the way you use it.
Yeah.
If your teacher or students use it as a shortcut to solve problems, this is what they will do. And JG says, I think AI may open up lots of new opportunities for students and not be simply a simplification of their duties.
Yeah.
It's clear that we don't just sort of give them this AI packet and say, deliver your essay on this for next week, because we know that they can do this in like 5 minutes, as you've shown us. But if we can see this as a tool which can expand the possibilities and enrich the environment, then I think it really is fascinating. It's not a shortcut, or it should not be a shortcut.
It should not be a shortcut. I totally agree. It should not be a shortcut. If we use it as a shortcut and if students use it as a shortcut, yes, the risk is that, you know, it's meaningless. And then we're going to kill our creativity and students' creativity. But if we use it as a tool to enhance our capacities, then I think there are there's a sea of opportunities out there. I was also thinking, in preparation for this webinar, I was thinking about Bloom's taxonomy. And actually, many of the tasks that we've managed to share with you refer to higher order thinking skills. We're talking about evaluate, assess, recreate, regenerate, rewrite. Those are high order thinking skills that we can definitely develop in our class with our students, with the help of ChatGPT and many other instruments and tools. Then I know that we're running kind of late. It's 4:25 already. Oh my God, time flies. Gotcha. Could you then please arrange some kind of global project to educate schools and students in the most appropriate ways to use AI? I am under the impression that AI will in time be wrongly exploited. Oh yeah, I totally agree. Much as I love digital innovation in English language, and not just in English language, but in language teaching. Oh, absolutely. I think we have to do it together. I think this is one of those typical examples of activities that we can develop together. I think there are general guidelines out there, but I think we need to apply them to our context. And I think we as a team of creative teachers, we need to generate our own guidelines together. I feel this is just the start of a long journey that we will take together in order to shared agreements.
AI is here and it's here to stay. We cannot sort of bury our heads in the sand and say, I'd like to do without it. So we have to work on how to make it a positive, useful tool for us, and not simply a way to save time and save effort.
But I think there's a question. So thanks for your answer. How can we take this further together? I think what we can do is we can think about a next meeting where we, instead of like just sharing some possible activities that we can do with the students, where we can start brainstorming ways to interact more effectively with ChatGPT in our classes. Let's do it. I mean, we're here for this. I think this is an incredible opportunity that we all have. Giulia,
we've reached the end of our time limit.
Are you just
Sì, siamo arrivati alla fine di questo incontro. Vorrei davvero ringraziare moltissimo Mauro e Tim per questo incontro davvero interessante, e ringrazio anche tutti i partecipanti. Spero davvero che sia stato utile, che ci sia modo di approfondire magari più avanti, che abbia stimolato la vostra curiosità e creatività. Un concetto molto importante che io mi porto a casa da questo incontro di oggi è che l'intelligenza artificiale è sicuramente uno strumento molto utile e versatile, quindi poi sta a noi come editori, ma anche a voi come insegnanti, agli autori, utilizzarla nel modo migliore, insomma. Ringrazio ancora tutti quanti. Grazie.
Thank you, Giulia. Thank you to everybody who's been with us. Thank you for your patience and for listening and for your contributions.